Hi everyone, my name is Pooja, and today my group and I will be investigating how electronics can affect one's carbon footprint. More specifically, we will be discussing the topics of lifespan, power consumption, embodied carbon, cloud, gaming, and Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, all to arrive at a strategy for efficient use of electronics in day-to-day life. Jumping into it, I will be discussing electronic lifespan in further detail, covering the points of what is the current state of the issue, the various environmental and economic impacts, as well as the next steps and solutions. In today's time, the production of electrical and electronic equipment has been on a sharp incline. This all has to do with several factors such as an increase in demand and decrease of product lifespan. For example, the current lifespan of a smartphone is about 2 years according to Greenpeace. Many companies and users have also become more interested in obtaining the latest and newest products. So what does this all mean? As you can see from the chart done by Greenpeace on the right, production accounts for a majority of the greenhouse gas emissions caused by electronics. Some of the issues related to electronic lifespan include a lack of emotional attachment, increased consumerism, and accelerated waste production. So lack of emotional attachment. Due to the current inclined rate at which electronics such as computers and phones are being introduced to the market, it has significantly decreased the perceived value of the product for the users. Some of the ways which product designers can counter this would be by way of increasing the associated pleasure and user experience with the product. Product designers are also notorious for planned obsolescence, where they deliberately design products to become less efficient before their full lifespan is reached. This limits users' desires to hold on to devices for longer because now the newer devices that have dropped are much more efficient than their barely used devices. For example, earlier this year, WhatsApp stopped offering compatibility for thousands of users on older devices. And now, even if the devices used to work fine, they have to replace them in an attempt to stay connected in a digital age of communication. Increased consumerism. After the Industrial Revolution took place, economies shifted to a take, make, consume, and dispose method of growth. This caused a direct influx in the consumerism that is still practiced today. Much of the electronics industry looks to this as a way to measure growth. It is further driven by the unsustainable product design of current electronic items such as smartphones. The solution of this issue needs to be directly impacted from the beginning of the consumer cycle by the device manufacturer. As this quote by Greenpeace mentions, the industry has to take into consideration the harmful impacts their production choices have on the sustainability of our planet. Accelerated waste production. As a direct result from the lack of emotional attachment to the products and an increase in consumerism, we have generated a cycle of more production to create electronic equipment that are more efficient, less expensive, and overall just disposable products. Many companies are also adding to this burning cycle by introducing incremental improvements to new products and new product features with each new product launch. This means that they're meant to last. This doesn't mean that they're meant to last longer. In fact, they have become less durable and dependable due to the consumer demands for cheaper products. This all directly impacts the amount of waste generated by electronics, as well as the need for mining new resources to keep up with the demand of products. Looking at this big issue of waste production, we need to reapproach the way electronics move through their lifespan. Currently, we have a linear economy of production, use, and waste. But when approaching it from a circular economy, we see that there are frequent opportunities to recover and restart the electronic cycle before the product can reach the state of waste. This will generate efforts to extend the product's lifespan by extending it through multiple cycles. So what can we do to address the environmental impacts of electronic lifespan? The first is the most obvious solution, where the focus is on electronic waste management and material recovery practices. Additionally, manufacturers can also challenge themselves to consider the longevity of products. Drawing from examples from Tree Hugger, we can see that many people are already taking steps to initiate this type of electronic recycling. The next solution is a little bit more complex and requires a reframing of societal practices of consumerism. We as consumers have to develop the better emotional attachment to our electronic devices in an attempt to prolong the product lifespan. A good designed product can stand the test of time. Additionally, manufacturers have to generate new ways of technological adaptabilities as a means of extending the product use. Other presentable solutions would be to space out the launch of new devices because loyal brand users will continue the use of their old devices while a new product has yet to be launched by the brand. And although this concept of increased emotional attachment seems like a sort of unrealistic ideal, it is still possible. Looking to recent events, it is interesting to note that in the current event of the COVID-19 outbreak, we see consumers alter their perspective on purchasing the latest electronics, especially with the halt of many production factories such as that of Apple. It used to be that people would buy Apple phones without really needing to. Now countless industries, including Apple, are at a standstill because production on their devices has been delayed and consumers are inadvertently subscribed to the idea one way or another. Thank you for listening.